let's all share our embarrassing stories on here so we don't feel alone or stupid. Right, there was this one time I was in primary school. I must have been in about year 5 or 6, and we were going around the classroom all saying what we were going to do that weekend. This boy says that he's going to the derby. If you don't know what the derby is, he was referring to the football game, and the derby is when two teams go against each other that are based in the same area, so they're local to each other. So then I wanted to talk to him, so I went over to him after class, and I was like, oh, I've been to Derby. But I was referring to the place Derby. It's a place in England, Derbyshire. And then he looked at me and he was like, what? And I was like, I've been to Derby. It's really nice there, isn't it? And he was like, you don't know what I'm talking about, do you? And I was like, no, I've been to Derby. I know what it is. And this just makes it even worse. The fact that he was referring to the football game, I can't have been, like, I can't know how it is because each game is different. So he must have just been like, what are you on about?
So my current boyfriend informed me recently that I am not a subtle flirter and that he knew that I liked him way before I told him because I was very obvious. And obviously I was like, no, like I'm not. I'm subtle. Like I'm subtle. Yeah, but then I got out my yearbook from freshman year of high school and I had a huge crush on this guy. And I was like, let's look at the pictures of yourself. So basically we went to a sea turtle habitat where we got to watch sea turtles in a tub. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in the same group with him. And so I was like, I'm gonna like talk to him, like I'm gonna flirt with him. And of course my 14-year-old brain was like, you're being so subtle, like he'll never know, but like maybe just enough that he'll like ask you out. And then I found a picture of it in the yearbook. And let me just say, Miss Girl was not being subtle. Oh my God, girl, honey. I honestly can't believe he didn't just fall in love with me. Like,
you guys think that your middle school years were rough. My family went to a church that believed women should only wear skirts, dresses. And when I started 6th grade, we had to start wearing those ugly pea uniforms. But my mommy said nitrogen monoxide. So my grandma took the inseam out of my pea shorts and made it into a skirt. Like this, but as a skirt that I had to wear leggings under every day. Skirt girl.
This is one of the most embarrassing moments I had in high school. Honestly, probably my life. It's probably up there, like top 5 at least. In grade 10 civics class, we got to do a project on the environment. It suggests we use a Bristol board or any other method. I'm like, great, because it's 12 a.m., it's due tomorrow, and I don't have a Bristol board. I have this great idea to make an audio log of a person who lives in a world where the environment was fucked by humans. Make that shit. I walk into class the next day. Literally everyone has a Bristol board but me, so I know this is already going to go well. I walk up to my teacher with my gig stick, and I go, here, sir, I did something a little different than everybody else. He looks at me and he goes, that is so great. Don't be the sheep, be the shepherd. Thanks, sir. What am I worried about, man? I'm a shepherd. I ain't no fucking sheep. As I start walking back to my desk, I hear played out loud through the smartboard, it's the year 3000. I hear the teacher go, Mikey, what is this? Whole class is laughing at me like, this guy sounds so fucking stupid, what the hell? I'm walking back to my seat, I'm like, I don't even want to be a shepherd or a sheep. Make me a pig, harvest me for bacon, like I don't want to be.
Time for another story time. This happened in middle school. So in middle school, I wanted to make my own Halloween costume, so I decided to make some cat ears. Here's what they looked like. Now looking back, I know they're not the best looking, and you can clearly tell I made them. But back then, I thought they were the most incredible thing ever. Like, I didn't think anybody would know that I made them. So I was so hyped, and I went to school on Halloween wearing those cat ears. I was so excited because what I thought was going to happen was people were going to ask me where I got the cat ears, and I'd be like, I made them. And they'd be like, wow. That is not what happened, though. I walk into school, and the first thing anybody says to me was this teacher. First thing this teacher says to me is, nice cat ears. I can tell you made them. Now, I know she meant it in a nice way, but 7th grade me was crushed. Like, I thought they looked so good that nobody would be able to tell that I made them. I was so dramatic that I immediately took them off and never wore them again.
Story time. I'm literally crying. So I had an anatomy assessment. 52 points. It was a video and I had to upload it from my camera roll. I thought I clicked the video, but instead this is what's submitted. That is so embarrassing. The reason I even have this photo is because I was filming a TikTok where I was putting on different Halloween costumes. But you see, the problem is I can't unsubmit. I can add another video, but I'm trying to do that right now and it won't load. So it's been 15 minutes and my teacher has probably seen that picture. Add me on Snapchat and I'll give you guys an update once she sees the photo. I'm so humiliated.
There was no secret that God literally skipped me when he was divvying out the boobs. But I have a really embarrassing story. When I was in year 7, which is when you're 11, 12, I used to think that absolutely everybody had boobs but me. Or that's what it seemed to look like in my class anyway. So to try and fit in with everybody, I used to stuff my bra with socks and sometimes chicken fillets as well. And one day, it was summertime and everybody's doing handstands and cartwheels, and I decided to do my handstand. Clearly my socks were a little bit loose that day because they fell out in front of absolutely everyone. And yeah, everybody pointed and laughed at me and no one let it go for a very long time, but I just thought I'd share that with everyone. But yeah, have a good day, guys.
So I got another story time for you guys, and it is literally the most embarrassing moment of my school career. So basically, at my school we had to do gymnastics. Like they would get out the horses and the springboards and all this stuff, like, and you had to try everything. Well, apart from the stuff that was dangerous. But yeah, so we were doing this one where you had to jump on the springboard and like leapfrog over it. And I'm not a small girl. And when I leapt over it, I hit my ass like proper hard on the like end of the horse. And I split my shorts. And I didn't notice. And nobody told me until the lesson was over. So I spent the whole lesson with my shorts completely ripped open at the arse. Yeah. Great life, yeah.
I'm thinking about that time when I was in freshman year and my Spanish teacher calls me up to go talk with him, and he says, sit down. And I try to sit on the chair, not realizing what kind of chair he has. It was like one of these like really weird like circle chairs with like 3 legs on the ground, like the ones your doctors sit on. And I didn't really realize that, and when I'm going to sit down, because I have a fat ass, big ass booty, I sat down and it was so fat that it slid the chair back, and my fat ass got slammed on the floor, and it went boom. And everyone was just staring at me for the rest of the class, and the whole class got silent.
Do I tell everyone this? Well, I guess it was many years ago. So here it goes. So my friend Rothio and I were walking to our GCSE geography exam when we looked at the time and realised we were almost half an hour late. We got to school as quickly as we could and we were panicking. Everyone had already gone in by this point, and guess who was stood at the door? Our headmaster. He then walked up to us and said, "Girls, you're almost half an hour late for your exam." I then had really bad word vomit and just suddenly said, "Sir, an old lady dropped her shopping, so we helped her pick it up and carry it to her car. That's why we are late." He said okay and let us go into our exam and gave us extra time at the end. Then, a few days later, we were mentioned in the school newsletter. In bold, Citizens of the Week. Amy and Rothio were late for their GCSE exam because they helped an old lady with their shopping. Everyone knew.